Hi everyone, it is episode 4 of Taurus Talk. I am Dani.
And this is Rick.
Welcome back everyone to Taurus Talk. We greatly appreciate you all. As always, we gotta do this blurb. Like, share, subscribe to our video and to our podcast. We greatly appreciate you guys. Like I said, welcome back. So for last week, we talked about love and loyalty. That was, to me, so far. I mean, I know we only done 3 episodes, but to me, that was my favorite we have done.
Yeah, that was actually a really good episode. I had a lot of fun. It was a very good topic, and it was something that we definitely need to probably go back and discuss further, especially these days because, especially with the climate and how things are and what people are and the way they operate. Yeah, that's probably something that needs to be brought back probably twice.
We could do a part 2 for sure. You know how it's just our podcast. We do what we want to do.
Yeah, we can do what we want,
So yeah, we'll do of that. And kind of go through that piece. I mean, so yeah, I did enjoy that episode. Now for this week's gonna be, I'm gonna say the opposite. It's gonna be a little different. This week we're gonna talk about anger. Anger and how to process it, how to manage your anger. It's gonna be the most important part, and how Taurus is kind of play a part of that. How we kind of, not all of us, okay. You gotta also remember moon signs, Mars signs, all that stuff plays into how you channel your anger, how you use your anger. Let's be real. Anger is very powerful. It can be very intense. You can use it to your advantage, or it can overcome you. You don't want it to overcome you for sure, because that's how you get in trouble. That's how you get in trouble.
That is how you can get big trouble. That's when you go up there upstate with the rest of the angry people. You know what I mean?
Okay, right. The people that couldn't
Definitely
control
gotta
it.
have some self control because you don't want to be upstate with them other people. That's
Or it can even get worse than that. You might not be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, look, and that can happen very fast as well. But you're right.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
we're going to talk about anger this week, but first we're going to get into the astrology of the week. Nothing much has changed since last week for the most part. Everything is pretty much the same. Mercury moved it to Libra. It was in Virgo, which was its home sign. Now it's moved to Libra. So some of you all may be indecisive with some of the things that you want to do for the next few weeks. And that's okay because Mercury's in Libra. Mercury, though, in Libra is all about balance too. Some of y'all maybe want to get more balanced about what you want. And these intense conversations may be coming up because we do have the solar eclipse in Libra. So eclipse season is not done yet.
Yeah, I'm sure I got something cooking up on the way. I'm a Libra rising, so yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yes, yes. Well,
Yep. Uh-huh.
So some of y'all may have some changes in your relationship dynamics. Some of you all will definitely be learning how to stand up more for yourself and set boundaries. One of the things that Libras have to work with, especially if you have Libra placements, is boundaries. Learn to create those boundaries and establish those boundaries. It's going to be very important during this time. Being able to listen, to understand, and not listen to defend is going to be very important during this time. So please, you all, learn to listen and learn to respond with grace and listen and just be understanding with each other during this time. That will be on October 2nd. So I don't know if we're going to film it or air this before or after that. But and then after the week after that, the eclipse energy will finally pass. We'll get into actual Libra season, going into the full moon of Aries, which is a very intense time, but it's a good time because that forces you to go into action with a lot of stuff. So we have that going on. What else? Venus is currently in Scorpio, I believe. So yeah, it's a very highly sexual time for some people.
Yeah.
Not me over here, but for some of you all who are lucky in that department, you we're going to talk about that one day too. You can enjoy this energy that's in the air of the Venus and Scorpio, very mysterious, very taboo things. You may pique your interest during this time. It's cool. Okay, like
Okay.
just be
Make sure y'all
safe.
wrap it up. Make sure y'all safe. Wrap it up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Out here.
We don't need no what who would be born around this time if this is Libra season? It wouldn't be. Let's see. It would be Cancer season. Oh, Cancer,
Leo, Cancer.
maybe. So yeah, if you want those type of babies, all I know is that Valentine's Day they're the be Scorpios. That's all I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, that's why I be so many Scorpios. It's tax season and Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? People getting back together,
I'm done.
make love and spending that money. You know what I mean? I love to see it. I love
Right. So yeah, Venus is currently a Scorpio. So it's a very sensual energy in the air, and that's okay. We need it. It's okay. Be able to ride through the right way with that.
Ain't nothing wrong
So,
with
there's
sensuality.
nothing wrong with it. Like I said,
I think everybody should get into what they tune with their sensual side. Me personally.
sure. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the art of intimacy and sensuality, because that's what Tauruses are known for. So we'll talk about that one episode. But so yeah, we have that coming up, and everything else is pretty much the same from last week. Nothing major news coming about. So enjoy this energy. Well, after the eclipse season, enjoy that energy while you can have calmness, because you know how that rolls. So that is the astrology.
Winter is coming, as my boy Jon Snow.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Oh, speaking of that, did you watch House of Dragon?
I have not watched the most recent episode, but I need to.
Okay, cool. We'll discuss that.
I watched that and Power, so yeah, I'm definitely.
Oh yeah, Power as well. Well, just said Power was actually good this week. Yeah. So yeah, so all right, so that was the astrology for the week. So all right, the next thing we're going to talk about is the approach to anger. We'll have a discussion on that. So we'll start off with Tauruses and how we kind of possess anger. And like I said, we don't speak for all Tauruses, just our experiences and what we know. So, especially in my experience, I'm very slow to anger. Very slow to anger. However, when the anger boils over, we got a problem. I'm just saying, like
I 1000% agree.
It says here, Tauruses are slow to anger. So, I mean, I guess it's just a thing. But when pushed too far, they can explode in a big way. And I mean, y'all.
Crash out.
I mean, no, seriously. I'm trying to think of the last time I was that angry like that. And I remember my friend was telling me, she was just like, I don't ever want to see that in you again. Like, it was pretty bad. So,
yeah, when people see me like that, they be like, yeah, no. Yeah, we don't want to see that again.
So yes, very.
I'm feeling like, no, you're not okay. You're not.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I am. And you have your Mars in Scorpio too, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's just bad combination.
Pisces, I think.
You're what?
I think my Mars is in Pisces.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought you was the same as me with Scorpio.
Something of mine is in Scorpio. But I don't think it's my Mars though. I think my Pisces is Mars is in.
Mine is, so you mixed that up.
Yeah, but yeah, Pisces. They said Mars and Pisces, they got anger problems too. They said that ain't. They said that's a very angry placement.
Mars, it's not in this favorable placement in Pisces, so that's why. But yeah, we definitely Tauruses are very, very slow to anger. So it takes a lot for a Taurus to get to that level of anger. But when we do get there, it's not pretty. And like I said, the last time I got angry, I blacked out. Didn't remember what I did. Didn't remember what happened. It wasn't until my friend told me like all the stuff that happened, I was like, oh, that's not okay at all. At all. So,
Yeah, you definitely got to be careful with it, because it definitely will escape you. That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
definitely the same way. So yeah, it takes me a very, very, very long time to get angry, and even amidst that, I will tell people, stop bothering me. Like I will let you know during the whole time to leave me alone, because you're literally pushing me, and I'm gonna let the fool out. Like you're literally pushing me to this point. Like,
listen, that is my favorite. You know when I'm angry, when I say, please leave me alone.
Yep.
When I say that to you, that is a warning for you to really leave me alone. Like, don't talk to me. Yep. And then there's, of course, people who will push your buttons intentionally or unintentional. It doesn't matter. But like, they'll push your buttons and you be like, okay, I warned you. You decided to go on this path. I told you to leave me alone and don't talk to me. Now you want to keep on doing it. Now you want to see this side. And you can be like, well, wasn't that serious? Why'd you get so angry?
Yeah.
I warned you.
The thing that killed me is like, why it was okay when you kept pushing my buttons, but now I gotta calm down. No.
Now it's me. Now I'm the problem.
I'm the problem. No, 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 no. That's not how this works. I'm just let you know that now.
Mm-hmm. Well, the importance of security and stability. So when it comes to Tauruses, that is our main thing. That is our thing. Be it stable and be it secure. If you disrupt those things for us, that can trigger our anger. So think about the situations I've been in where I have been upset. It really was because either I was at the place that I wanted to be in a financial standpoint or a safety standpoint. I felt unsafe, so therefore it turned on my anger. So that right there was spot on. Like just saying, if we're not neither one of those things, that could definitely trigger our anger.
Yep, that is a fact. That is an ultimate fact. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Listen to this next
That's another topic we're gonna have to get into.
Oh yeah, we sure are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We sure are.
you know, people don't realize they can mess up your securities too. You know, and introduce their energies into you, and they can make you lose things as well. You know what I mean? So that's something definitely gonna have to get into on a deeper episode. You know, but I totally agree.
Oh yeah, listen to this next one. You're gonna laugh at this. How Taurus natural patience, because we are very patient, and desire to avoid conflict can sometimes lead to suppressed emotions, which will go to a blow up or anger.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are very patient. And sometimes there are things that we immediately spawn, no, something's off, something's not right. But we tend to suppress it sometimes, and therefore it is just suppression upon suppression, and then finally it'd be one little small thing, we blow up. That is what Tauruses do. Like that is our thing. Like I said, we disclaimer, we're not speaking for all Tauruses. I'm just speaking from my experience of what I know, and that is so true. A lot of times I get upset because it's one little thing, but it's other things that I haven't addressed yet, which is a problem. You should be able to communicate those as soon as you find the issue. But so
yeah. See, I'm the same way, but like I said, I am an excellent communicator. I tell everybody how I feel. You know this. I don't do that. So like for me, it's more of you playing with my intelligence at this point because it's not like I'm very communicative to the point where it's like you're just choosing not to hear me. You know what I mean? So like to me, I take that like this disrespect. That's another Taurus topic we're going to talk about. Respect. Ooh, that'd be another respect.
We need to write that down.
Yeah.
Respect.
But yeah, no, yeah. So like for me, it's a little different because like I feel like you're just purposely not listening to me. Like I understand that some Tauruses don't communicate and they might not, but I take communication personally very seriously. So I tell people how I am because I know my mood personally is volatile. I do have a volcano in my stomach. You know what I mean? And sometimes it might overflow. So for me to avoid that, I usually communicate and tell people how I feel, or when they do something I don't like, I tell them right then. You know what I mean?
I'm the opposite of that. I tend to suppress things. I've done better. Communicate my wants and needs, but like sometimes I will suppress my stuff, and then one day I'll get upset, and I'm like, "Well, girl, if you would have addressed it months ago, then you wouldn't be at the position that you're at." So it's something like that.
So I'll suppress it as well. Like if I tell you once, I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you that again. If you did something, I literally made a stink about it because I don't make a lot of stinks about stuff. So if you do something like that and I made a stink about it, I don't think I should have to tell you that again because I'm usually not the person that's flying off the handles anyway. So if you do something like that to me, you would have some kind of onus to be like, okay, well, why did he do that? But people don't do that. You know what I mean?
Also, too, it could be. I don't want to say people don't care because that's not true. Not all people care, but there are some people who they don't care. They just want. They are selfish in their own needs first before everybody else in a relationship. You can't be selfish. I don't want to say it that way because there are times when you do have to be when it comes to communication and somebody's not giving your wants or your needs in a relationship. You do have to tell because everybody does not read minds. This is not how it works. You have to learn how to communicate. So that's very, very important. We're going to talk about relationships probably in one episode 2 with Tauruses as well. So I think that'll be a good one. Like you kind of go through that. So yeah. All right. So examples of classic Taurus rage. You ready? Moments and how they differ from the more fiery signs like Aries and Leo. So, like I said, from Tauruses, we do come from a A lot of our stuff can be suppressed, and a lot of people see it as because we are so grounded and we are so connected to the earth. When we get into our classic rage, it's not like us. Like it's very foreign to some people about how we react to our anger. Aries and Leo are a little different because they're a little more front forward with their anger. With us, it takes time and we're a little bit more grounded in our anger, which sounds weird. Fiery. We're not as boisterous as, say, for example, Aries or Leo. So sorry, Aries or Leo, but
Well,
y'all
see,
be
that's
back.
the thing too, Danny. I think it's necessary. I don't necessarily think it's not boisterous. I think that we just compartmentalize our anger, so we use it for fuel instead of letting it usually just sit there in the back of your mind. So you like we know how to. I know me personally. I know how to compartmentalize. So something that can be bothering me, I can use that to ignore something else and be like, okay, well, I'm while I'm sitting there having counsel with myself. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I doing that? And a lot of times they can't do that. They'll just do the snap reaction, fizzle out, and they don't know why they felt the way they felt and all this. They just do stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I'm not like that. I'm more introspective. I like to pay attention to what I'm doing and not just be doing stuff. You know what I mean? So
Self-awareness is definitely key. And self-awareness takes work. It takes, I mean, because it's hard to be self-aware because you really do look at yourself and be like, that wasn't a great quality. That was not good on my behalf, like of what I did. So it takes a little bit of accountability when you have to do self-awareness too,
yeah.
which, you know how that goes. Everybody's not accountable. So,
Hey, it's a journey, you know.
oh yeah, for sure.
Some people
Yeah.
get down the road a little faster than others, but I mean,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
want to do anything with it, it's a part of the process.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say nothing bad about nobody that
Oh, because
in the process. But
trust and believe. I wasn't self-aware. I was not self-aware, and I was the queen of victim blaming. I was the queen of it's everybody else's fault. I didn't do anything. It took a lot of me of my spiritual journey and work to realize, no, that was you, girl. That was you.
yeah,
And take accountability and really stopping and reflecting and be like, oh, okay, this is what this looks like to this person. Or I was wrong. I misinterpreted that badly.
yeah,
And being able to own up to that and be accountable and take action. That takes a lot of work.
yeah. And then too, Danny, you got to think you have Aquarius placements. Y'all have very, and I have one as well. It's easy for you to disassociate, like
Oh yeah.
you know.
Mm,
Yeah, so like I know quite a few Aquarius, and they do that like immediately. You know, what I mean, that's something that
mhm.
you guys do. It's a protection,
It
you know,
is. It's a defense
protection. So I
mechanism.
mean, I get it. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong, but we all start somewhere on the journey.
It's funny because all my friends they know they're like, if Danielle's quiet, she's quiet. That she has to dissociate. She has to have her isolation and her self time. Like I do.
Me
Um,
too.
it's not because I'm angry. It's not because I'm mad at anybody or upset. Because I just need my me time. That's all.
Yeah,
That's it.
I like to hear nothing sometimes. You know what I mean? I don't even
Mm.
like to hear I got a sexy voice. No disrespect. I don't like to hear myself talk sometimes. I'm gonna just tell you the truth. I just be like, just
He
nothing.
said, I don't like to hear myself talk. I just like silence.
Yeah. Silence.
So yeah, but yeah, I mean, so that's that. The next segment we're going to talk about Taurus and healthy expressions of anger. So how can you express yourself in a healthy way if you're angry? Because let's be clear, anger is just an emotion. And we have all sorts of emotions. And it's okay to have anger. It really is. But how do you control it and how do you use it to your advantage? We're going to talk about that. Okay. So here is one way that you can channel your anger in healthy ways. Number one, which is should be very important for us in general, but earth signs in particular, grounding. Actually, if going outside, if weather is permissible and all that great stuff, going outside, actually put your feet in grass and grounding. I'm talking about it does wonders for me. I don't know if it's because I'm a double earth, like Taurus and
Wonders
Capricorn
for me
moon.
too. Yep.
Yeah, so like for me, it instantly calms me when I go outside and I put my feet on that ground. I'm like, that's what I needed. I needed that.
Yep.
Just
I
center
agree.
myself. Yeah, and then if you can't have it for what,
You definitely gotta do your self maintenance for sure.
hmm hmm sometimes you need more, sometimes you need less. Depending on your time and what season you are in your life, to be honest, is how you can determine that. If you don't have great weather where you are, or things have been going on. Oh, by the way, because we didn't really get to that. My thoughts and prayers go out to the people in North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida. We just had
Absolutely.
Hurricane Helen or Helene, I don't know how you say it, came through, and it really did some damage. I mean, damage more inland did outward. It was very, very interesting. So
yeah, my little sister lives in Decatur, and she was telling me that she had to drive because it was so flooded in her neighborhood. They had to drive like 3 miles out the way to get to the corner store that was literally at the end of the block.
whoa.
Power, like all of the streets were flooded and all that. She said it was crazy. Like
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So, prayers and thoughts go to them, because that
Definitely prayers and thoughts
that
to
was
those people that
crazy.
were affected by Hurricane Helene.
Yeah, yeah. There was a part, I think it's between like Tennessee and North Carolina's I-40. I mean, part of the highway is gone. Like
Yeah, like it's
it's
gone.
gone.
I've seen that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, but we were talking about before. If you don't have a place that's favorable right now with grounding, they do have grounding meditations that you could do on YouTube.
Yep.
They're very, very helpful. Like for me, like if I want to ground at night, I'm not going to go out there at 2, 3 in the morning to ground my feet. I'm going to get in the bed and listen to this grounding meditation. So they do have some great ones on YouTube as well, if you want to get into that. Deep breathing is another good technique.
Deep breathing is the key. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Y'all definitely tap in with the deep breathing.
Yeah. And really, it's a 4-4-4 count, which sounds very funny, but that's how you do deep breathing. So you'll breathe in for 4, like we might have to do a demonstration. Breathe in for 4, and then you hold for 4 seconds, and then you exhale slowly for 4 seconds.
Yep.
You do that continuously, it definitely, definitely helps to kind of calm you into a different space. It does for me. I mean, deep breathing really, really helps me a lot. It really, really does.
It definitely helps me a lot too.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. And then also retreat to a comfortable place, wherever that is for you in your home. If you like to drive, some people like to drive. Like some people for driving, it calms them to where
I'm one of those people. I
they
love.
get on that open road and it
Yep.
just relaxes them automatically. So anything that's going to do with whatever's comfortable for you in your space, in your house, outside the house, on the road, whatever the case, you could do that. My comfortable spot is actually where I'm sitting. That's my comfortable spot. Like I would get up here and just cross and just be gone.
Yep. I got a beanbag right here next to me. That's my little spot where I just chill out and think and
Yep.
mastermind, do all my little stuff. I got my whiteboard right here too as well. So
Okay. Yep. Which actually goes into the next thing of writing and journaling. If you are a person that's not the best at writing and journaling, like if you can't get your thoughts out and write it on paper, talk it out.
yes, you can definitely use the notes app on iPhone or Android
Yep.
or whatever device you got, and it will type up everything that you're saying. So hey,
Yep. But for me, I just love the feeling of paper and pen. And if I'm angry, I could tell my hands start hurting because I'm like, like, into the paper.
like me personally, I hate writing, but that's because my mom, when I was a kid, like I told you, my mom used to make me write hundreds of thousands of sentences. So I hate writing. Like I literally hate writing because literally a large portion of my childhood was me writing for stuff that wasn't that bad, and I was in trouble. So you know what I mean? Like me and writing have a love-hate. But I
Yeah.
have been writing a lot more to try to get back into the.
But yeah, also too, like I said, writing's not your thing. You can also
Yep.
speak it out is a good way of doing it. Things of that nature. And also learning to communicate before you blow up. It's going to be very, very important to do that. So if you start to feel yourself be like, I didn't like that, or let me talk about that, then talk about it. Like it's better to get it out then there than to keep on waiting and waiting and waiting. It could be something as small as they put the keys in the wrong spot and you up there arguing with them now because you didn't talk about things that happened last week and the week before last. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Yeah, best to definitely tackle things as they come. It might not be the appropriate moment right then, but it's definitely good to not let things weigh on your mind. It's good. With communication, most things can be solved if you actually want to talk about it. you know.
Exactly. Yep. And learning to communication and compromise, I think, is one thing that people don't want to do because it's their way or the highway. You
Yep.
have to learn, especially in relationship dynamics, to compromise. I think it's very, very important too.
That is very true.
So, Tauruses are all about routine and stability. So, learning to channel that in a routine, like, so for example, also for me, a good way to kind of let my anger out is through exercise. So actually, literally, that gives you endorphins. And so it's one of those things where if you go to the gym, you're like, okay, every day at 5:30, I'm gonna go to the gym. If I have any things of anger, I'm letting it out the gym. I'm boxing, whatever I gotta do to
Yep.
physically get that out. That's another tip too. Like use physicality, not with another person, but use physicality like boxing,
Yeah.
exercise,
Rage
anything.
rooms. They have
Yep,
rage
rage
rooms that
room.
you can go to. You don't have to you don't have to hurt nobody. You can go
Yep.
to hurting on the old TV or something, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Definitely plenty of ways and options out here for you to work through that stuff.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, like physically getting that anger out, it could be very important as well. Setting boundaries, which we talked about that earlier with this being a Libra season. Please set those boundaries for yourself. Once again, boundaries are for you. I think we talked about that last week.
Yep.
Boundaries are for you. So it's very important for you to set boundaries. Okay. The people that love and respect you will now they may
They will
mess up.
acquiesce. They have, I mean,
Right. But they really love you and respect you. They will adhere to your boundaries. So setting those healthy boundaries, okay, to avoid those triggers within you. But also once again, maintain those boundaries and sticking to those boundaries for the person who's setting them. So they know it's time and you mean business. Okay. So all right. So also the number one thing you all have to realize too is that anger is not bad. Anger does not equal bad. It is a natural emotion that we do have and leads to growth and change when we manage it well. One of the things that we are going to talk about on an episode here is called shadow work. Shadow work essentially is taking those parts of yourself that you may not necessarily like, whatever that is to you, and you take those and you go to the root of why you do these things we do. A lot, most of the time when we have certain things and things that trigger us, it goes back to a root of something that happens. It could be childhood, it could be past relationship traumas, it could be a lot of things. So learning to really channel your anger in a way that's healthy for you.
yep.
So always why it goes back to the root. Why did that make me angry? Was I disrespected? Like, did I feel small? Like, what are some of the things that could cause the triggers to your anger? And realizing once again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just your body responding to being disrespectful or being sad or being stressed or being irritable. Those things is what leads to anger. So that's important as well.
That is majorly important. Knowing oneself is half the battle. Well, it's like 99% of the battle. I don't know
Right.
what battle. It's like 99.9% of the battle.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
Yes,
yeah.
you're absolutely correct, Danny. You definitely got to do the self work.
Oh, for sure. We on this podcast, I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all can listen to all the other podcasts. They can talk about all this type of stuff. But the one thing we want to do for y'all, we want to hold y'all accountable. There ain't no one person it's his fault. We want to be held accountable on this podcast. We don't play that over here.
No, we do not.
So ain't no victim blaming. We ain't got time for that. What is the actual problem and how can we get to the root of it so we can heal through it?
Yep. We are solution-based people.
Exactly. Exactly. So, all right. So this next segment is going to be a little personal for us. We're going to talk about our personal experiences, like which we kind of did at the beginning of the episode. So we're going to talk about our personal stories and how we dealt with anger in the past and how can we deal with it now. So I could give my example of the last time I can remember being angry, like really angry. This was I was in college at the time, so this was years ago. And I went to University of Louisville, and my parents, my mom, and my stepdad, they literally lived like I think 5 minutes away from 5 to 10 minutes away from campus. Like I used to walk to their house all the time, even though I was on campus. Because listen, Danny wanted to have her own life. Okay. I was in the dorm room. I was doing all this stuff, having fun, partying, whatever. What college people do. So I remember one day my mom called me and said that her, like I said, this was years ago. Her and my stepdad got to an argument, and I heard the sounds in the background. The sounds were way worse than what it was. So immediately, and she was like, "I just need somebody to get here." She's crying. I'm like, "Oh God!" So my roommate at the time, I didn't have a car. My roommate at the time had a car, so I was like, "Okay, I'm about to go over there." She saw my face switch, and he was just like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I will be okay once I get there." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep,
once I
that
get
good old
there.
calm, that anger that turned into calm.
Yes. So we get over there. I'm here screaming, screaming. Somebody's cussing. My siblings were all over the place, and I lost it. I don't know if it was just maybe I was overstimulated. Maybe there was just a lot of things going on at the same time. My mom was upset. It was a lot. And so once again, like I tell y'all, when I get angry, I black out. So I don't remember what happened. The next time I remembered, I was in my roommate's car driving back to the dorm. She said I was so angry. She told me to get in her car and go back to the dorm. She'll get home later somehow because I was so angry.
Yeah. Dang, Danny.
I know, Rick. It's bad. And Rick has seen me frustrated. He's seen me stressed. He's seen me sad, but like he's never seen me angry. And so it takes a lot for me to get to that place. But I do remember, like, my roommate was like, "Here, just take my car. You got to go. If you don't go, I don't know what's going to happen." Like it was pretty bad. So that was the last time that I can remember being that angry. Where I don't remember what happened, and I had to remove myself from that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the lesson for me is to remove myself from the situation. That's it.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you?
So yeah, I mean, the last time I've probably been angry like that, and this was probably last year when I was in Las Vegas, when I got left.
Yeah.
And she disappeared, and yeah, that was probably the last time I got like super pissed. Yeah, that was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
How do I put this?
Yeah, I remember
I
part
don't
of
want
the
to
story.
disrespect nobody or nothing like that, but
Right.
that was probably because of the way things happened that literally just sent me off the handle. I got left, and this person disappeared, and they were gone all night, and then they randomly reappeared. So yeah, I was pretty angry. Like Inferno angry. That I definitely had a volcano in my stomach about that one for a while. You know what happened. Like not scare nobody on here or nothing like that. But that was probably the last time I didn't lose it, but I felt like I was gonna lose it, but I couldn't just because of the situation. But yeah, that was the one.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Sometimes we can have people we're one day going to talk about karmic partners and twin flames and things like that. But there are certain people in our lives that does trigger certain aspects about ourselves that we may not like. And so that could have been that situation.
I believe that.
Yeah, so we have people. Oh, I do remember more recent time when I got upset. Remember I was telling you the story about.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot
About that because this person in particular is a trigger point for me. I guess he's a karmic. I don't know what he is to me, but like he definitely triggers certain aspects about myself within me. And I remember the last time we got to it, he said, "Danielle, I can." So the thing with me with anger, a lot of times they say they can hear my tone changes in my voice when I get angry. And he was like, "Your tone started to change." He was like, "Oh God, here we go." And yeah, once my tone starts changing, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
So
See, I'm like when I'm starting to get, I just everything I say is like nippy. You know what I mean? When I'm starting to get to that point, like everything you say, if you say anything, I'm saying something that I'm trying to hurt your feelings because you like literally, I done told you at this point, leave me alone. And at this point, I'm just letting you know before I explode. The volcano it's already in the process of exploding.
right.
Now
So
I'm just doing any and everything because you done pushed me to this point. or I felt like you didn't push me to this point, which is
Right.
not always necessarily a good thing. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. I mean, we
but
have
because I don't get mad all the time, sometimes you just gotta let it out because you gotta complete it. You gotta let it. It ain't no point in putting a cap on it and just because for what? Just
that is a tip.
commit,
That is a
get
tip
it,
actually. Um, being like we said earlier, being able to communicate your problems or issues right there, like don't suppress them. Also to being able to take care of yourself, grounded techniques. Grounded helps me a lot. Me removing myself from the situation. So if I feel myself getting angry, removing myself, and also being okay with processing. So for me, because my Mercury is in Taurus, we're very slow to process. It's not a bad thing, it's just we're slower. So if somebody's presenting me with something that may be true or that may be upset, I have to tell them, like, you gotta give me a minute.
Yep.
You keep on pushing my buttons, I don't give me a minute to process things.
Yep.
And the people that know me and that are close to me, they know, like, when they hear that tone change in my voice, they're like, we'll talk to her later. We'll let her process and then we'll talk later. And so that's very, very important for me, is to be sure to give me that time, that space to think. It's very, very important for me.
It's very important for me as well because especially because I am so quick with it. Sometimes I might be hearing a little bit extra. You know what I mean? So it's good for me to take
Yeah.
a breather because when things is heated, you be hearing stuff sometimes, or you be taking things a little extra personal and all that stuff. So for me, it's personally good as well because I have a very, very explosive temper, and it's like really like a volcano. It's literally lightning
Yeah.
fast. So I try to keep myself as rooted and centered so I can hear what's being said and not just flashing out and acting crazy. Because I know for me, when my personality change and when I get into that mode, don't nobody want to be around me. So I try to stay as far as and steer clear away from that energy because it's really not needed. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yep. And then another thing we could talk about is some of the products that we use for self-care, of what I do. So for me, I use lavender. You could buy lavender at Walmart, Rainbow Blossom, any like health store. You can get you some true lavender. I have a diffuser where I could put my essential oils in there. I have it over. It's way over there. But you can buy a little bottle of pure lavender, and I put it in there along with the still water. It just helps to, first of all, it smells nice, but also too, it kind of helps to calm myself. So I do use a lot of lavender. Like I said, essential oils is a good one too. That lavender calms you down. Peppermint's another good one. Also, peppermint's good for headaches too.
Yep.
So if you get some natural peppermint, it's good for headaches and stuff like that.
A nice soak in the tub usually will help you.
Mm-hmm.
Will definitely be good for when you're angry.
Yep, that. You can also use sandalwood's a good one. There's another one that left me off the top of my head, but those are pretty good. Taking a spiritual bath or just taking a bath actually can
Just
help
taking a
too.
bath does wonders for
Yep.
anger.
And another one that a lot of people do use, everybody's different with this one, weighted blankets. I've heard great things about that. The weighted blankets that have, like, you just
No, I'm good.
no.
No. I'll be
Yeah,
hot.
see.
I'll be sweating when I sleep. I don't need nothing with it.
Oh,
No, thank you. I'm
the
good.
weighted blankets are really good, especially some people who said they have like anxiety. It helps to kind of calm them because it gives you that weighted pressure that you need. I like a good blanket though, a good old fuzzy blanket that's really, really warm. I love to like curl underneath it. So anything, like, I do have a security blanket, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I literally, before we came on here, besides mine don't, I wash my blankets, but I do have a security blanket that I use sometimes to kind of.
Yeah. So I got like a heavy blanket. It's not super heavy. It's just not weighted.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So
But
yeah,
I felt like the 15G weighted blanket, and I'm like, I would
too
literally
heavy.
sweat a hole through the bed. Like literally, I sweat a lot. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we ain't gonna do that one.
Okay, more. For those of you all who have low iron, like to get who are cold all the time, weighted blanket actually really does help. They love it. They love it. I can just get a regular blanket. And I'm fine. So yeah. All right, and then this the final segment. This went by so fast. We talk about we would shift the focus to why peace and stability is important for Tauruses, because well, yeah, that's one of our major things. And then learning how to like once again channel your anger. So we like calm and steady environments. Okay, if you know a Taurus, we don't like a lot of chaos. We like our homes to be very peaceful, very quiet, very you walk into the house, you feel like home. So it's very, very important to us to have those healthy and stable environments. What we have, so we don't want our peace to be disrupted. I know I'm one of those people. You call me talking about coming over here with chaos. Okay, we ain't got time for that. That's why I got that wand up there. Any energy you bring up in here is going to leave with you.
Yep. That's right. Back to center.
So yeah, we're all about peace in our
your negativity right back with you.
Yeah, because we ain't doing it here.
Nope.
We ain't doing it here. Cultivate your inner peace. It's going to be very important. So journaling, gratitude, spending time in nature is very important because we are earth signs. So those are very important things. Now I don't like bugs, but I do love nature. So I always have a dilemma there when that happens.
Same. Yeah. Well, yeah, if mosquitoes didn't exist, then nature would be probably my best friend. But
well, they say mosquitoes be